Nothing says you're in too deep like a parking garage turning into a dead end. G'day guys, Holy Critics signing in. Missing Pieces is a 1983 TV movie starring Elizabeth Montgomery as a private detective pulled into the mystery of her husband's murder. Think cerebral tension, dark alleys, and a story that lives as much in her head as it does on the page. If you like murder mysteries with psychological twists and a few surreal surprises, this one's a puzzle worth solving.
It scared me at first, that ability to stand outside myself. Even at night, another Sarah Scott stalks the sleeping one.
Andy is dead, Sarah. Andy is dead, Sarah.
Murdered.
Andy is dead, Sarah. Dead. Dead.
Your husband's dead, Mrs. Scott. Dead, Mrs. Scott.
No.
Yes, Mrs. Scott. Dead, ma'am.
Murdered. Just badly wounded.
No, ma'am.
Yes. I want to find out who killed my husband.
Whoever did it, Sarah, covered their trail
Just
real
badly
pretty.
wounded.
No stone left unturned.
Yes.
Just some routine questions, ma'am. Name?
Sarah Scott. No.
Yes, Mrs. Scott. Born?
Certainly.
Please, ma'am, be serious.
No.
Occupation?
Hold.
Stay with me, ma'am.
Questions? Private investigator.
Private investigator?
Questions, no. Answers.
Would you drop me at the office?
Andy, it's 11:30 at night. What in the world's going on?
One burger or two. I don't want you involved, Sarah.
Why can't you tell me everything? Tell me everything. Everything. Why can't you tell me everything?
Forget Andy, Sarah. You ain't gonna find out who did it.
Andy has a hold on me.
Please, Mr. Pasian. I want to work with you.
Andy has a hold on me.
Husband's occupation?
Ghost.
Concentrate, Mrs. Scott.
Journalist.
In all my 20 years as
Andy.
a private investigator,
I live with your nightmares.
it's never happened to me before.
Children?
There's Valerie to think of.
She's still devoted to you, Andy.
When he comes back, I'll smother him with love and make him tell me everything. There must be no secrets between us.
Mom? Mom? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right, Valerie. It was just something I heard outside. Go back to bed. You shouldn't be up.
Mom, skip work tomorrow.
Nightmares are my way of warming up for the next day. Some people jog. I have bad dreams. Even with such nocturnal training, the events of that particular Monday morning would turn me into a human tuning fork, reverberating for the rest of my life. Let me put it another way. Valerie was right. I should have stayed home. The office door was open. I knew it couldn't be the boss. Pasian worked the same hours as Count Dracula. Meet my closest friend, a Beretta 32 automatic.
Miss Scott?
We don't usually get together so soon after breakfast.
Miss Scott, are you in there?
Spencer Harris. What's going on?
Spencer,
Not now, girl. Gotta finish this section.
Pasian doesn't want his office decorated.
It ain't his office no more.
What do you mean it isn't his office anymore?
You were 3 months behind in rent. As of yesterday.
So we're 3 months behind. Give us a break.
Got a break last month. Remember?
Oh, come on, Spencer. There's a big case on the way.
Don't see nobody lining up to bust down your door.
This isn't exactly the hottest location in town either.
I ran an advert last week. Already I've had 15 calls.
Right. I'll get your damn rent. Personally.
The only case we had in the office was tequila, 150 proof. Pasian used it instead of blood. He must wake mornings with maracas going in his head.
Any messages for 72? Thanks.
What's the word, woman? Got a job or not?
Spencer, give us to the end of the week.
Try the end of the day, girl.
Sam Spade wouldn't have had this problem. Pasian was on the missing list again. I didn't want Harris to know. Imagine the embarrassment of a private investigator having to trace her own boss. I always began with his apartment. The logic of this escapes me. He was never there, which wasn't surprising. The place was a cross between the city garbage dump and a derelict brewery. My follow-up calls didn't come from the yellow pages. I tell you, if alley cats could blush, they would at Pasian's personal life.
Boy, do you have the wrong number.
Yeah, I'd like to find him. When you find him, call me back.
He missed his appointment. I don't know where he is.
No way.
Papa, who?
If you find him, you can whack his face for me. Was he driving a yellow car? He was dead.
Oh, is he out?
Last time I saw him, I don't know, it was a year ago.
Who?
Are you kidding?
That bum owes me.
Lady, I think you got the wrong number.
Does he look the same?
Oh, there's nobody.
Hey, give me a break, would you?
Hey, I'm glad he's not here, okay?
Nah, leave me alone.
No, can I take a message?
I drew a blank. Then I remembered Pasian telling me about his latest conquest. A rampant widow living in a mobile home on New Horizon Avenue. The lady's home wasn't difficult to find. It was the only mobile one in the park. I knew I was in for a long wait. That's if Pasian lived up to his reputation. Impulse told me it was time to deflate it. Besides, I was mad at him.
What's going on? What the hell? Where's my gun? 10 years I've been in that office. That jerk only bought the place 8 months ago.
The rent for Pasian is 3 months overdue.
That Spencer Harris can easily turn me into a racist.
Pasian, you're Armenian already. Don't complicate things any further. Armenians do understand rent, don't they?
Oh, I've had something on my mind the past few months.
Tequila?
You want some?
It's a little early for me. Doesn't go with toothpaste.
Sarah, even Sherlock Holmes needed time to solve a mystery.
What mystery?
Ruby! Go down to the office during lunch hour. Take the B-178 out of the safe. Harris won't be there. and go down and see Sylvester.
But that's our best microphone.
Yeah, but he'll give us $1,000 for it.
And when that's gone,
Hey, something will turn up.
come to the office later.
No, I'm giving Ruby typing lessons. She's gonna be my first legitimate secretary.
Sometimes you're a real idiot, Pasian.
Yeah, I know. Listen, next time you come to call, knock on the door, huh? You'll save me on tires.
Harris had finished painting the office. Adolf Hitler couldn't have done it better. I went through to collect the microphone. That's when I saw the knee. I'd hoped it belonged to a customer.
I'm Sarah Scott. Can I help you?
Lovely place you have here. Neo Goodwill?
You an interior decorator?
Professional housewife.
Oh, jack of all trades.
Jill.
The lady asked about our charges. $200 a day plus expenses didn't produce cardiac arrest. Besides, she wanted a woman to handle her case.
So what can I do for you?
All I want is to find out if my husband is playing around.
That's no problem. I will, of course, need a retainer so I can begin immediately.
Can you do it in a week?
A week would be fine, Mrs.
Richmond. Helen Richmond. It's personal savings. He mustn't suspect anything.
Oh, he won't.
What makes you think your husband's playing around, Mrs. Richmond?
He's off his feed.
I know what you mean. She told me her husband was a social psychologist, married 12 years, no kids. Lately, their sex life had become boring, then real boring, then non-existent. Moreover, he'd been coming home surly and uncommunicative. Something was wrong.
Oh, one more thing, Mrs. Richmond. Do you have a photograph of your husband?
No?
Well, could you give me some idea what he looks like? I'd hate to be tailing the wrong man.
Oh, sure. It's easy. He's the only black man in the neighborhood.
For a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven, than it is for a camel to pass.
I love the way the office looks now, Spencer. The color is perfecto. Makes up for the lousy location.
Why are you talking trash, girl?
You can put the receipt in my mailbox. And when you go to paint Pasian's name back on the door, he'd like the letters in gold.
Suddenly, I felt good. That was a mistake. Andy Scott rested in peace, but his daughter didn't. Home for Valerie was a shrine with requiem services most days. I was lucky.
Valerie!
I had my work.
Are you up there?
Yes, Mom. I'm in the kitchen.
Sometimes.
Good news, kiddo. We got a job.
I don't want you involved, Sarah.
Were you going through Daddy's things again when I got home?
How could you tell?
I recognized the mood, that's all. How about your homework?
I've already done it.
This is delicious. I didn't know you could cook cocoa van.
Did I surprise you?
You sure did.
You want some more?
Oh, no thanks. Not right this minute.
Okay. Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I need to talk to you about Daddy. You don't mind, do you?
And why can't you tell me everything?
Like most people, he had a private place where no one else was allowed.
I know. You ever think you'll get married again, Mom?
Why do you ask?
I wonder sometimes.
Maybe. There is one thing you should know.
The sun rises and the sun sets, and the rent has to be paid whether there is a man in the house or not. So, no more questions, kiddo. Tomorrow is a working day. Thank
Your body is your temple. You've got to be proud of yourself. It starts with you.
Next day, I was outside the Richmond house at sunup. That was bad enough. Worse was the thermos of coffee I'd left at home. Worse still, I could see it sitting there on the kitchen table.
Let all that tension go out the feet, out the fingers.
The good doctor left home at 7:15, and the Richmond case moved into top gear.
Ladies, we want to get rid of all the bad vibes.
The morning light wasn't great, but these shots weren't for the family album.
We want to surround ourselves with beautiful people. Beautiful, positive people. That's what you deserve. Nothing less.
His office was close by, in a medical complex. I waited, giving him time to set the clock running on his first patient. Or was that just an excuse? Something about this case made me nervous.
All I want is to find out if my husband's playing around. He mustn't suspect anything. All I want is to find out if my husband's anything.
What makes you think your husband's playing around? What makes you think your husband's fooling around?
All I want to know is if my husband's playing around. Find out if my husband's playing around.
Why won't you tell me?
I can't. Trust me.
The world is a stage, and we the players. Especially if you're a private investigator. Stanislavski would have been proud of me. My inspiration was a cross between Joan Crawford playing Mildred Pierce and Faye Dunaway playing Joan Crawford.
May I help you?
I'd like to see Dr. Richmond.
You don't have an appointment, do you?
I have to see him.
I'm sorry.
Oh! Can't you see I'm in trouble?
Excuse me, Dr. Richmond?
Bugging worried me at first, which was pretty dumb. After all, it was already an American institution.
Dr. Richmond just left. He must have used the other door.
If Richmond had a mistress, it certainly wasn't a secretary. Backstairs of the private investigator's freeway. However, high heels are not recommended in the fast lane. To my practiced eye, it looked like my client was in trouble. If Dr. Richmond wasn't having an affair, I was a panda. My client had told me her husband donated afternoons of counseling and therapy to a halfway house for drug abusers. The place seemed right, but not the time. It wasn't afternoon yet. Richmond got lost in the crowd. At first, I thought it must be graduation day for reformed junkies. I was close. It was a fundraiser.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for turning up this afternoon on this worthy occasion for this fundraiser.
I knew the guy was a politician. His face peered at me somewhere along the freeway. Vote for... I couldn't remember his name. It was something like Hemingway.
And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who's no stranger to you, State Senator Anna Perez.
Anna Perez had been a movie actress before going into politics. Soon we won't need political journalists like Andy. Just film critics.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, let's have a really big hand for one of the great public servants of our state, Mr. Lawrence Conrad.
I knew it was a writer's name. Andy had talked a lot about Conrad, said his politics were too idealistic, too honest to survive. Well, he was wrong. Some good people float to the top. Conrad was one.
Progress we're making here with these people. You see our people are off the streets now. You see that we have a recidivism rate of...
I had to get out of there. Some people are allergic to shellfish. With me, it's politicians. I stayed close to Richmond's car and waited. It didn't have to be Philip Marlowe to realize the doctor had not found happiness between the sheets. Mistresses rarely get to play the best venues. Richmond's next stop proved my point. Rated pits in the Michelin Guide, this motel was par for the adulterous course.
Telephone for Henry Zinnerman, please. Henry Zinnerman to the phone.
I let him settle in, convinced that Mrs. Richmond's contender was in there, on the 18th hole, and playing for the title. Richmond was meeting someone, all right. Only it wasn't a woman.
Sorry, Val. I can't go through. You know the risk I took coming here. James, you don't seem to get my drift. I have a reputation.
No wonder Mrs. Richmond had a marital problem. She was the wrong sex.
Martinez is running the whole operation. I can't win without proof. I have my reputation too.
Richmond told him where to put his reputation and how.
Piece by piece.
The conversation could have been in Chinese. It didn't mean a thing to me. Yet something about it struck a chord on my fear bone.
Hey, Mom? Mm-hmm. I found this old postcard from Daddy in my dresser. He wrote it to me the day before he died. Well?
Well, what?
If he was in San Francisco on October 7th, why would he fly here from Sacramento on the same day?
Why not?
Well, why didn't he fly straight from San Francisco?
He was covering a campaign, and campaigns move around, you understand?
Yeah, but this
Valerie, will you please stop asking me questions about your father?
Mother, you're not telling me everything.
Valerie, would you please leave me alone? I am trying to relax.
When he comes back, I'll smother him with love and make him tell me everything. There must be no secrets between us.
You mean you actually dropped off to see me in the middle of a case?
I wanted to spend some time with you.
Stay for dinner.
Valerie's alone.
Oh, she's okay by herself, isn't she?
We had a row. About Andy again.
So call Mrs. Berman. She loves looking after her.
It's weird. You and Andy are so different. Why were you such close friends?
Attraction of opposites?
Maybe. Then why do I love you?
You call Mrs. Berman, and I'll have time to show you.
I can't.
Oh.
Sam?
Andy? Sam?
Andy?
Next morning found me outside the Richmond house again. The doctor left promptly at 8:30, looking like Hamlet's father. He didn't go to his office. Who could blame him with his secretary? Instead, he stopped at a gas station and made a call. He must have made a flight reservation, for he drove straight to the airport.
Sorry, inside levels are full. Sorry.
By the time I arrived, the only place to park was the roof. Inside was as empty as my bank account, yet the sign had said it was full. Somebody was playing games with me.
Hey, wait!
I lost the stewardess, but found the widow. She was where the little woman usually is,
Mrs. Richmond?
at home.
Well, I'd like to see you. It's urgent.
Just last night I asked him. I told him I had to know what was going on.
What did he say?
He said not to worry. He didn't want me involved.
I don't want you involved, Sarah.
Involved in what?
I can't say.
I'd heard it all before. My nightmare had shifted into reality. A bond now existed between me and my client.
Mrs. Richmond, I'd like to find out who killed your husband and why. I'll do it for nothing if necessary.
We had more in common than she realized. One prop Pasian taught me to collect was other people's business cards. You see, private investigators get to play more roles than most actors. Only for us, curtain calls can be taken in the mortuary. Talking of mortuaries, I decided to retrace my steps to the motel. The manager had a certain old-world charm.
Who do you think you are, Wonder Woman?
No. But I am with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
So what?
I'd like your cooperation.
Go tell it to Marines.
I don't have their number. But I could put in a call to the Vice Squad. Now, I'm going to ask you once more. Who was in cabin 13 yesterday?
Oh, come on, lady. Give me a break. I got a reputation for protecting my customers.
Even if they're foreign agents?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Rousiness.
Address? Oh, that Mr. Rosinus.
Alan Rosinus was a highly respected political journalist. He worked for the Tribune, that beacon of conservative thinking. Inside, I could hear a radio playing, but nobody answered the bell.
Mr. Rosinas?
Hello, I'm Dennis Trudell. Good evening, I'm Alan Maitland. Tonight, the specter of international terrorist Carlos rears its bloody
Mr.
head on
Rosinas?
Paris Street. At least 10 are dead.
A transatlantic jumbo jet screeches to a stop after an emergency landing at a small-town airport with a skyjacker at the controls. We have a direct line to the tower.
Remember that story from Nevada about the last word in a no-bar, no-key jail? Well, last night, all the inmates drove a long one. That happens the Thursday edition. If you hear me, boys, come home.
It looked like Rosinas was leaving in a hurry when he was rerouted to oblivion. By now, he'd know if there was a life after death. Intuition told me he'd recorded his conversation with Richmond, and that the cassette, like Richmond's briefcase, was now in the hands of the killers.
Alan? Where are you, honey? Alan?
The lady's world was about to blow apart. She didn't know it yet, but she was stepping into an endless nightmare, and there was nothing I could do to help.
Alan? What's the matter? That's scary. How you gonna find out who did it?
Good question.
Are you scared?
No.
Excited?
Yeah. Look, I don't know how to put this, but we just might be putting the worst part of our lives behind us.
It hasn't been that bad, Mom. Jen.
Speak for yourself.
I went to the office the next day and made a list of leads to be followed up. A talk with airport security was a priority.
I like my name in gold. What'd you do to get that?
I got a job.
A what?
Oh, of course, I forgot. You wouldn't know what that is.
All right, so you're a comedian. Where do you hide the tequila these days?
I filled Pasian in on the Richmond case. He sat there like a rogue elephant on tranquilizers. When I'd finished, he took an unprecedented step, a step that could have proved fatal to his system. He drank coffee. Sort of.
So what would you do next?
If I were you,
Yeah.
go to the police.
What?
I know you don't want to have nothing to do with them because they screwed up on your husband and lost the evidence, right?
Right.
You leave them out of it, and you could get your sweet backside in some trouble.
Pasian, you are not my father. This is my case, remember?
Okay, but you're gonna end up a walking, talking, breathing target out there. Some hitman is gonna have his crosshairs trained right on you.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Okay. If you need help, you know where to find me.
I do. Ruby's typing coming along okay?
Great. Up to 5 words a minute.
And her shorthand?
Out of this world.
I realized Pasian thought I couldn't handle this one. He knew sooner or later I'd have to turn the case over to him. He wanted me to burn my fingers badly, and soon. But it wasn't my fingers I was worried about. It was the rest of my body.
Hello.
Speaking of bodies,
Can I help you?
it looked like airport security was being run by androids on steroids. The young man had an ever-ready smile. I assumed his batteries had just been changed.
Was it something I said?
Oh, no. No, sorry. Kathy Colson.
You? An insurance investigator?
In the flesh.
I'll say. Al, Seco.
Hi.
So, what are you investigating?
The death of James Richmond. What flight was he booked on?
The police are into that one.
Oh, yeah, I know, but we always like to check it out.
WLA, Flight 717.
Where to?
Sacramento.
Al, there's just one other thing I was wondering about.
Al, what's up?
The guy should have told us to fasten our seatbelts and extinguish the stewardess. It was the same woman who'd watched Richmond die. Now it was her turn.
Cold-blooded, murdered. Cold-blooded, blooded, murdered. Cold-blooded.
Andy, did you know they wanted to kill you? Were you this afraid too?
Andy is dead, Sarah. Dead.
Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, Sarah. Pull myself together. If they knew you were on the Richmond case, you'd be dead by now. So just stop being hysterical and calm down. Oh, good grief. Helen Richmond sounded calm. I asked if her husband had known anybody in Sacramento.
I don't know. Oh, let me think.
I was glad she couldn't see me. My nerve ends were like a Stradivarius tuned by King Kong.
Senator Anna Perez. She wrote James a letter of commendation on all his volunteer work at the halfway house.
The halfway house was calm. Unnaturally calm. Quiet and unnerving. Pasian's words kept coming back like a bad dream.
You're gonna end up a walking, talking, breathing target. Some hitman is gonna have his crosshairs trained right on you, trained right on you, trained right on you, trained right on you.
Yes? Jorge Martinez.
The name rang a bell, an alarm bell. Connie Bryant, executrix of Dr. Richmond's will.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Please, not how many tax dollars it costs to reform one junk.
No, but it is about money. Dr. Richmond made a large withdrawal at his bank the day he died.
Yes, go on.
Well, we'd like to find out what happened to those funds. So we're talking to everyone that's been associated with him.
Money, money, money. James Richmond was not like that, Miss Bryant. He donated his services, not his money.
Oh, well, forgive me for asking, but
Would you care to stay for dinner?
I'm afraid I can't.
Good decision. The food here is lousy on Fridays. Why don't we go out instead?
Maybe some other time.
Definitely. Call me next week.
What?
Well, I'm a very busy man. If Connie Bryant were in the mood to drop by, I'd want to make sure I was here to see her. Hasta luego, novia.
Martinez slipped away like a bar of scented soap, leaving me blowing bubbles. Ooh-la. Later that day, I made an appointment to see Senator Perez at her home.
Sorry, Miss Ryder, we don't allow smoking.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
The senator is quite particular about it. How long have you worked for the Tribune?
How lovely.
The senator will be with you in a minute.
Thank you.
I didn't have to wait long. It was midterm, and the state senator was hungry for publicity. I was about to give her indigestion.
Shall we get started?
Oh, certainly. I know that the halfway house is one of your pet projects. You must be deeply saddened by the recent death of Dr. Richmond.
Well, the loss is tragic, no question about it.
Did you know he was on his way to Sacramento when he was killed?
I didn't know.
Do you have any idea who he was going to see?
Oh, Miss Ryder, I've only spoken to the man once in my life, and that was over a year ago.
Well, then you'd certainly know if he had an appointment to see you.
Of course I would, but I've been in Los Angeles.
The day Richmond was killed, you were in Sacramento.
I thought you came to discuss the energy crisis.
And then there's Alan Rosinus, who's a friend of Richmond.
A political reporter, what about him?
He was killed, too.
I didn't know.
There was an obituary in the newspaper. You do read the Tribune, don't you, Senator?
Religiously. I'm also a personal friend of the publisher's, and I'll be calling him as soon as you leave. Hector, show this gusana out.
So, you don't work for the Tribune anymore.
I just hope Diana Ryder does.
Why use other people's cars, Sarah?
Why not? They're arrogant enough to have them printed. I exist.
Can we change the subject, please?
Can you think of a better way to pay the rent, Valerie?
I'm not big enough to pay the rent. As a private investigator, you must have discovered that. You want to play some chess, Sam?
You're on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll set up the board.
Well, give me 5 to finish eating.
I know. We'll bug her house.
What?
It's the only way to find out what she knows.
Well, that makes us just as bad as them.
Who's them?
You don't know?
Them is us. Us is them. I'll go get ready.
What was Daddy really like, Sam?
Not again, Valerie.
Sorry. I don't feel I ever knew him.
He loved you a lot, that I know. I think he envied you your childhood.
How come?
You grew up poor on the shadows of milk and honey, never had a chance to enjoy being a kid.
But there's not an awful lot to enjoy. Tell me about his death.
It wasn't there.
Sarah keeps it all inside you now.
And I think someone's imagination is running wild.
Who did you know first, Sarah or Andy?
Andy,
Did you always love Sarah?
I do now. I don't know if this will help you much, honey, but your father was a very ambitious man.
Sam? Have you ever been woken in the night by Mom's screams?
Never.
Check. Mate.
We won't be long. I'll get the car.
Bye, Mom.
We were in luck. Senator Perez was at home. I left Sam at the front door playing on her heartstrings.
Where is it?
Well, it's down the street. I just have to phone AAA.
Well, okay, yeah, fine.
No, really, I'm sorry. It's probably just the battery.
Yeah, it's okay. Come in. Just make it quickly, will you? I'm very tired.
Yes, of course.
I found my way to the kitchen. and the back stairs. Every politician should have back stairs, if only to practice on.
North Rodeo Drive. That's right. North Rodeo Drive. No. It's just the Battery. Yeah.
Her bedroom looked like a set from the Desert Song. I knew it wasn't Pavarotti. I also knew it wasn't her husband.
Good night, and thank you very much.
I'll get it.
I felt like some tacky paparazzi. At first, I didn't recognize him without his shoes. It was Martinez from the halfway house. I shouldn't have been surprised. The guy had all the earmarks of a gigolo. Crazy. I was the bloodhound, but it was the suspect doing the sniffing. Taxpayers would have loved it. Director of hostel for drug abusers snorts cocaine on the sly in a senator's bedroom.
Who was it?
Some man with car trouble. I let him phone AAA.
You should be more careful.
In Beverly Hills?
You're a senator now.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
You should be very particular about who you let into your house.
Amen, I thought.
Mi casa, tu casa.
Me gusta. Who was on the phone?
Just Henry.
What?
Don't worry, he's still in Canada. I told him I'd ring him back.
Canada. It's a long way off.
Husband Henry was a fight promoter. The poor sap should have stayed at home and listened to it on the radio. That way his wife wouldn't be doing 15 rounds with another guy.
All you have to do is put your hands on me and I'll do anything for you.
I feel the same way, Anna.
And she believed him. Maybe politicians don't recognize lies anymore. He leaned over her and ran his hands across her body like a concert pianist practicing. I was disgusted. It wasn't an act of love I was watching, just sexual manipulation. Martinez wasn't there for pleasure, just power, clout, in and out of bed.
Oh, am I good with you?
The best time ever.
You're just saying that.
Come on, Anna. You know you're good. You know you're fantastic.
Really?
Verdad.
The one thing they had in common was hypocrisy. That aside, what they did to each other worked better than any sleeping pill. Thank God.
Yes, hello, who is it?
It's me, Henry. You said you'd bring me back.
Henry. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep.
Politicians.
It doesn't exactly make you want to run right out and vote, does it?
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm so glad for you. You work so hard.
Why didn't he do it in front of him?
She's a politician.
I wonder if Richmond knew he snorted coke.
Darling, I'd love to, but I have so much work here at the office. I can't figure out a way.
Maybe Martinez is dealing.
Well, we're not going to find out here. Anna Perez doesn't know anything.
Sarah, why don't I enroll at Halfway House?
Don't be insane. You won't know what you're doing. Will you?
Someone has to do it.
No. No, you'll get hurt. I know it.
Hey. Hey. See? I'm okay.
Sam okay too?
Yeah, Sam's okay too. This time, I thought, maybe this time it won't happen.
Oh, Sam. And Sam.
Hello, yourself.
Sam,
What?
Nothing. I couldn't bring myself to tell him. It would have hurt him to know there were 3 people in that bed. No sleep, no nightmares. Simple. I woke Sam early. Valerie would be up soon.
Sam?
Yeah.
I love you.
I had noticed.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Sam was no pro. He even forgot the bugs.
Be careful.
I will.
It was like sending a kid off for his first day at school. Only this school used capital punishment. The day proceeded with all the charm of a nervous breakdown. It began to rain. My car sounded like it had bronchitis and wouldn't start. I took a taxi to the Rosinas residence. Someone was with her when I arrived. I waited an hour before she left. I needed to see Mrs. Rosinas alone.
Seems like I do this 10 times a day. You don't represent my husband's ex-wife, do you?
My client's name is Helen Richmond. Well, you do know the Richmonds, don't you?
I'm sorry. Alan and I had only been married for 6 months.
And he never mentioned Dr. Richmond to you? Never told you about a meeting they had at a motel?
What? What are you talking about? There were no secrets between Alan and me.
There it was again, that line, the married woman's mantra.
Get out of here.
Someday you're going to want to know who really killed your husband. Then you're going to want to talk to me. keep my card in a safe place.
Get out of here before I call the police.
I sympathize, Mrs. Rosnes. I really do. I was married to a newspaper man once.
So what?
He was killed, too.
I don't care what happened to him.
What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry.
Get away from me!
The nightmare had finally gone public. I took the next day off. I had a bad cold, and Valerie questioned the wisdom of going to the beach.
I hope you know what you're doing, Mom.
Sure. It's the best remedy for colds. It's handed down to me by my great-great-great-grandmother. Oh, boy.
You sure it's not a cure for athlete's foot?
You might be right. Told you we should come. It's not often you have the beach to yourself.
I wonder why.
You going in?
You gotta be kidding. The water's cold enough to break your kneecaps. Sam gonna be all right?
Sam's a big boy, Valerie.
We gonna stay here all day?
You got a better suggestion?
She had. The atmosphere was so loaded with the afterlife, I actually asked Andy to give me a sign. Nothing. No storm, no sudden wind, no lightning, nothing. It seemed I would have to crack the case without divine intervention.
Oh, I'm cold.
Yeah, me too. Well, that was one hell of a family outing.
What's in that stuff anyway?
Honey, concentrated lemon juice, vitamin C powder, eucalyptus oil, Tabasco sauce, and brandy.
Why don't you just take a time release capsule?
It's the trouble with your generation. You have no concept of reality.
Huh?
Life without TV and pills would be unthinkable. Remind me to stop at the liquor store.
Why don't you just go to bed?
I'm not that sick.
It's nice out here.
You're weird.
How about yourself?
Mom, why are you getting up?
What do you think? I'm going to work.
You can't go to work. You look terrible.
I'll wear a lot of makeup.
Come on, you're sick.
All I'm trying to do is finish my job. Oh.
I took the pills prescribed by the junior house doctor and went to Shangri-La. I had no idea what time the phone rang. I couldn't get my eyes apart to look at the clock.
Sam, are you all right? Why 6? Why don't you leave right now? I can't. No. No, I want you to get the hell out of there now. Right now.
The phone went dead. I hope that didn't apply to Sam as well. He told me to meet him, 6 o'clock at the beach house.
Sam? 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 Sam?
Oh. Hi, Emperor. Where's the master?
The cat that was out wanted in. The cat that was in wanted out. I knew the feeling well.
He's out on the beach, isn't he?
It was warm, not hot. Sam had been back some time. I hoped he was sleeping. He was.
Sam?
But not in the way I'd expected. Paramedics were there in 5 minutes. Chance is a fine thing. I even found Pasian at his apartment.
Pasian? It's Sarah. I need your help.
You know what this looks like to the cops, don't you, Sarah? That Sam was a junkie. He got a hold of a load of uncut smack. It's the end of the story.
What do I do?
You're gonna have to lay low for a while.
I can't do that.
They're gonna be gunning for you out there, for sure. You know Sam must have told him about you being involved?
He wouldn't. Well, I don't have a lot more to lose, do I? Well, do I?
Only your life, little lady. Only your life.
Sam refused to check out that night. While we waited in reception, I explained to Pasian what I thought had happened.
Run that past me again, will you? You lost me.
They followed him home, and then they shot him up with the stuff he'd taken from the halfway house.
You mean Sam took smack as evidence?
Yeah. Look, don't you see? Richmond found out they were dealing in heroin, and then he told Alan Rosinus, and...
Wait a minute. You got a problem.
Huh?
You got a problem even if it went down like you said it did.
What do you mean?
The evidence.
What about it?
It doesn't exist anymore. It's in Sam's body.
Be right back.
That morning, at 7:30, an intern told us Sam had stabilized but remained comatose and on the critical list. I went home to bed.
Did you get that, Valerie?
I could have saved my breath. Pasian had taken her to school.
Okay, I'm coming.
Lieutenant Carlos Ruiz. I'm addressing Sarah Scott.
It wasn't so much 3rd degree as 360 degree, a vicious circle. Ruiz had arrived with his mind already made up.
You do drugs, Miss Scott?
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Then you won't mind if we look around the place?
Well, of course I mind.
Doesn't matter.
We have a search warrant.
What? Why, you?
No, don't say it, Miss Scott, okay? Because then I'll get angry. So if you're not a pusher, what do you do that allows you to sleep in? Hook or collect alimony?
I am a private investigator.
Interesting. Not just a pretty face. What's a licensed detective doing running around with a junkie?
Wasn't aware he was a junkie.
How could you miss, ma'am? The cat was Track Shoe City.
I hadn't seen him in some time. I just showed up and found him in that condition.
I got it right here, boss.
The stuff was older than Timothy Leary.
Grass.
Palenko, forget it. Weed is a misdemeanor now, remember? Write her a ticket and let's get out of here. All right, Miss Scott, I'll keep in touch, but if I get anything at all, even a rumor, I'll personally be back here and jerk your license.
That evening, the doctor told us Sam's condition had worsened. He wasn't expected to last the night. The doctor said he was sorry.
Can we see him?
Sure. As soon as the nurse is finished.
Want to talk?
No.
You want to stay?
Yes.
Race. Even those that survive the initial blast, the burnout and radiation, will not live long on a planet that's devoid of plants and insects.
I wondered why I wasn't crying. Maybe I was just too exhausted and numb. Like a lot of adults, my emotions had been all used up.
Extinction. Any actions that encourage us to think otherwise are really dangerous.
In your article, you were saying we have an obligation to the unborn.
Well, of course we do. Society is a...
I rang my answering service.
Yeah.
Anything for 72?
Helen Richmond had tried to reach me twice. She'd be at my office at 6:30.
Tonight? Thanks.
I phoned her to cancel the appointment. But nobody was in. My world was full of ghosts. I circled the block, making sure no one suspicious was around. The building was locked at 7 every night. I was late.
Oh, good night.
Good night. I hated the dark and wished I hadn't seen all those scary movies as a kid. But I had.
Helen, Sarah, so you don't freak out. I'm sorry I haven't called.
Helen ain't showing up tonight.
What have you done to her?
Helen didn't make any appointments, and she ain't keeping any. You understand? I made the arrangements.
Spencer, you lousy jerk!
Easy, woman.
I don't know how long I was out. I do know I was dumb enough to come round.
Please.
Behave yourself, and you might live a little longer. You dig? You got bad people on your case, woman. Bad people in the wrong organization.
What organization?
None of your business. I owe those folks a couple of favors. You dig where I'm coming from?
We could make a deal.
I'd rather be in debt to the Lord than to them. And they want you dead, sister. Open the door. You're about to meet your maker. And you're looking at the man who's going to make the introductions. Open the door.
The keys are in my purse.
I couldn't believe what was happening. I remember I kept thinking I was in a movie. A bad movie.
What you doing, woman?
I tripped. I couldn't see. How much do you want?
But you understand, I don't want nothing.
I'll give you double what they did.
You ain't got a dime, girl.
Anything. I'll do anything.
Shut up, tramp. You're about to die.
Another weird thought hit me. If movies were better, maybe life would be too. I was in a B movie, all right. I even tried recycling some dialogue.
The condemned always get one last wish, don't they?
What are you doing, woman?
If I'm gonna die, I want to go out in style. Do you mind?
Harris acted just as I expected. We obviously watched the same garbage on TV.
Do I get my wish or not?
Pavlov would have been proud of him.
Putting me on, woman.
Do you want me or not?
You're still gonna die.
What would you do, Spencer, if you were gonna die?
Crazy, but you ain't talking trash.
Come on.
Harris didn't see the gun. He was so preoccupied with his zipper, he never even heard the safety catch. That was his very last mistake. I had no choice. Even now, it doesn't seem possible. The Pasian was on his way to the office when he heard the shot. He'd come for a bottle of tequila and got a corpse instead.
Oh. Excuse me.
That's how bad a movie, real life, can be.
You'll never get the stains out of this rug.
Better call the police, please.
It's too late for that now.
What do you mean it's too late?
You're in over your head, and you can't use this office anymore, at least not until this is over. Go home, pack a bag, grab your kid, and move out. You can use my apartment.
Well, thanks, but...
Or a motel, I'm serious. They'll find out fast enough that you're alive.
I hesitated. The Pasian's place was a health hazard.
I came by myself, I'll leave by myself. Meet you and the kid at my place.
Think there's someone out there?
Probably. If there is, they'll be looking at me.
Pasian left by the front door, yours truly by the back. This seemed to sum up my life so far. One punk was on the phone, the other by the entrance. Lethal bookends. I felt like a Raymond Chandler novel.
I knew we shouldn't have used that clown.
How come?
He was supposed to answer. It was part of the deal.
Harris was always an amateur. He's probably having a little fun.
Come on, let's get out of here.
California RHF 440. That license plate is a billboard in my mind.
favor, Mom, will you?
What's that?
When this is over, don't be a private eye anymore, okay?
Valerie, when this is over, I won't want to be a private eye anymore.
Place is yours. Make yourself at home.
Jeez. Is your mate on strike or what?
The soft drinks are in the kitchen, kid. Go drown whatever sorrows you got, and we won't have any problem.
She won't drink the water.
Valerie and Pasian were old sparring partners. Pasian had an advantage in weight and reach, Valerie in speed and youth. During the first round, I rang the hospital.
Is that the bathroom?
Yeah, kid, that's it.
I hope I don't catch anything.
Did you hear what she said?
We weren't the only people in trouble. The hospital switchboard was permanently engaged.
I said, did you hear what that kid said?
No.
She said if she used my John, she'd probably get a disease.
Mother, there is hair all over the place in there.
Well, what do you expect, kid? Fur?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Valerie! Now apologize and go to bed.
I'm sorry.
Kids. Kids and dogs.
Early next morning, I was outside the office covering Pasian's tail. And that's a big number, believe me. I didn't dare go back to collect the Richmond file. Pasian did it for me. He was also checking out the license plate.
Well?
License plate's a phony. There's no record of it. I'm not coming. Things are piling up that need attention.
What?
I gotta think this thing through, okay?
Couldn't we talk about it?
I'm better off noodling it out on my own.
Oh, wow.
This guy's a real slob, Mom.
I agree. Have you called the hospital?
Yeah, he's a little better.
That's great.
Why don't you fix us some lunch? There's a cheese and sausage pizza in the freezer.
Great.
The Richmond file wasn't very fat. You can't fit dead bodies into a folder. There he was, the man I'd seen outside the office. It was like knocking a coconut down at the fair. All I had to do was collect the prize.
I gotta go, sorry.
Aren't you gonna eat?
Haven't got time.
Well, what about me? How come I have to stay here?
Because
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I've heard it all before, and I hate it.
I'm gonna be fine, okay, I promise.
Where are you going anyway?
The police.
You mean you didn't come here to confess?
I have nothing to confess.
Oh, you just dropped by to chat, or what?
I'd like a favor.
A favor?
I'd like to look through your rogues gallery.
What for?
Divorce case. My client's wife ran off with a pimp. I'd like to place a name with a face.
I'll bet you would. That pimp of yours wouldn't have the dealing smack on the side, now would he?
What do you mean?
You know very well, ma'am, you're trying to find your boyfriend's pusher. Your divorce story is a crock. Okay, Miss Scott, you can have a look-see at the rogues gallery on one condition.
What's that?
Show me the name of this so-called pimp if you come up with it.
Okay.
Okay. Malenko, I finally found something for you to do this afternoon.
I let those fingers do my walking. Every time I went through a rogues gallery, I expected to find some common denominator in the faces. There was none. It took me 40 minutes to get to the P's. Palenko, Picasso, Punko. Then I was into the S's. There he was. I kept on walking, thinking how deceitful I'd become. And how charm was the most treacherous of all talents to have.
I don't think I'm gonna find him.
No? Too bad.
Are you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
I'll share a bear claw with you.
How do you know we got bear claws?
The police always have bear claws.
Malenko's gonna be very sore if you don't stick around. It's always embarrassing to get caught shoplifting. You'd think that cops could trust each other. We made a deal, didn't we? Guess who's back in town, Sergeant?
Who?
Eddie Sinkoff.
Just when I was learning to like my job.
You gonna bust him?
Eddie's been at large for 5 years, and we haven't done it yet, lady.
Am I free to go now?
Sure. But if I were you, I'd forget about Sinkoff, no matter what he did to your boyfriend.
He likes to hurt people.
The tail Ruiz put on me could barely find his way out of police headquarters. I'd lost him by the next block.
Okay, Superman, wake up. I know who we're looking for.
Are you referring to Ed Sinkoff?
How the hell did you find that out?
I've been in this game a lot longer than you have, little lady.
How smug can you get?
Very. He's on flight 710 at 10:35 tonight.
Where to? No, don't tell me. Sacramento.
Right.
Well, what do we do now?
You leave him to the police, Sarah. He's out of our league.
Well, he's not out of mine. Pasian, do me a favor. Valerie's still at your place. Watch her till morning.
Sarah! That kid hates my guts!
It's just a childhood phase.
I have enough trouble handling adults. You can't answer something.
If I don't come through, she's supposed to start ballet lessons next month. If you need a babysitter, you can call Mrs. Berman.
Mrs. Berman! Sarah, I'm Armenian. I don't have time for Jewish grandmothers.
And for God's sake, Pasian, do something about Spencer. He's beginning to stink.
Oh, Sarah, wait!
Mrs. Berman, Mrs.
Sinkoff was indeed on Flight 710 to Sacramento. I thought how much Andy would have enjoyed this. The challenge, the excitement. That was the trouble. The few times I got to enjoy myself, I always remembered Andy and grew cold. I did it with Sam. I did it with Valerie. I had a good time and always ended up in the cemetery. I prayed those nightmare days would soon be over. I was sick of chasing my own tail.
Yours if you follow that cab.
Yes, and what if it's going to South America?
So we get to do the rumba.
When he comes back, I'll smother him with love and make him tell me everything. There must be no secrets between us. Why wait?
I thought how sad that Andy died just as we started to mature together, to balance each other's faults. I had been happy and knew he was too, even though there was a private part of him I could never crack.
It's the easiest 50 I ever earned, lady.
I couldn't believe it. Sinkoff was going into the state capitol, and not by the front entrance.
Place ain't even open, lady.
Just to some.
Sinkoff knew somebody inside. That was for sure. The catch was taped back, and the alarm system had been switched off. I preferred it on. Anybody leaving was in for a surprise, and it wasn't going to be me. I could see the morning headline. Private investigator's career ends in toilet. I wondered how many times Andy had been down these corridors, sifting the politicians' pickings. The place moaned with the ghostly whispers of empty rhetoric. There's something ironic about breaking and entering with a credit card, especially when it's overdrawn. The place reeked with the stagnant smell of bureaucracy, printer's ink. And the personal secretary's room had the odor of a lady who liked being close to powerful men. Flop sweat, concentrated and political.
With friends like you, who needs enemies?
Hey, I didn't grow up hanging around the yacht club, remember? I didn't graduate from law school either.
Come on, Sinkoff.
I knew this wasn't going to be a conversation of high political ideals.
2 ounces.
Only 2 ounces?
Hey, I've been busy protecting your interests.
Play it again, Sarah, I thought, and hope you stay alive to do just that.
Colombian?
Pharmacy.
You killed 2 men for this junk?
And a woman.
I don't want to know any more, Sinkoff.
There was something familiar about that voice. I just couldn't place it.
You guys never do. I have to tell you, though, there's one more little lady that has to go.
What?
This one knows everything.
Who?
Andy Scott's old lady.
Who the hell's Andy Scott?
Don't remember. The greedy one.
He was out of the way a long time ago.
Right. I cut my teeth for you on that pushy guy.
What does she know exactly?
That the halfway house is a front for one of the biggest heroin operations in the world. That Richmond and Rosinus and her old man died because they were on them.
Do what you have to do, Sinkoff.
Okay.
It's none of my business.
Well, it is my business. Get up. Get up. Very slowly, please. Over there.
You stupid idiot. She followed you.
And to think Andy believed in you.
We all get older. And softer. You can't be all that different from the rest of us. I'll make a deal with you, Mrs. Scott. Then you can go your way and we'll go ours. That'll buy the memory of what went down with your husband.
Well, you'll tell me anyway, because if you don't, I'll blow your brains out.
I don't think you have the guts.
I don't have anything to lose either.
Tell her, man.
right.
I could feel my energy slipping away. All I wanted to do was sit down.
He found out about us.
I know that. That's why you killed him. Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes. But that isn't the end of the story, Mrs. Scott. Your husband...
Why won't you tell me?
I can't. Trust me.
No. That's not true. It can't be.
Why should I lie to you?
Don't make me lie to you. Ever.
Believe me, your old man wanted in.
I don't want you involved, Sarah.
Involved in what?
I can't say.
He said, sure. You can have a job on the staff and $100 grand. He said no. He said he was going to tell his story to the world unless...
There's Valerie to think of.
What does Valerie have to do with it?
Something tells me I should get started on this article. Would you drop me at the office?
Andy, it's 11:30 at night. What in the world's going on?
Your husband was a greedy man.
I'll be right back.
He wanted $1 million.
When he comes back, I'll smother him with love and make him tell me everything.
He didn't have that kind of cash.
Why wait?
We pleaded with him. Instead of listening, he gave us the weekend to consider it and flew to L.A. Rest is history.
No! 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 No!
We had no choice.
Andy, I lived with your nightmare. You had no right to deceive me when your whole life was a lie.
I don't know what happened, but you sure blew it, lady.
Oh, please don't kill me. I'll do anything you want.
It won't make any difference.
Where do you want to take her?
The river.
Oh, please.
One more sound and you won't live to see the moonlight, you understand?
Damn you, Andy Scott. Damn your pretty corrupt soul. Should I pity you and feel sorry for your memory? No, I won't.
Don't move, Mr. Conrad, or I'll vote you to that great White House in the sky. You all right, Sarah?
I've been hit, Pasian.
All that pain, Andy. I gave you my essence, and you betrayed me. No more tears. No more screams. They checked me into the hospital and Sam out. He lived. Andy Scott died.
Put him right over there, will you, fellas? Trouble is my business, sir.
Some people should never get their picture in the paper. Pasian made front page and decided to change his image from tequila to bourbon, with wardrobe to match. He brought Ruby in to front the office. and made me vice president in charge of divorces.
Your wife disappeared a year ago?
It seems a lot of people were married to ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Sarah Scott no longer exists, but Sarah Martin does. That's my maiden name.
The Pasian? I'm going out.
Call me if you need me, little lady. Be good.
The moral of the story? Contrary to all available scientific evidence, ghosts do get laid to rest.
All right, so that was Missing Pieces, and I'd say it played more like a character study wrapped in a murder mystery than a straight-up detective story. This wasn't driven by twists every 5 minutes, it lived almost entirely inside Elizabeth Montgomery's head. And I mean that literally. This film was packed with internal narration. Sarah's thoughts guided us through the entire investigation, her grief, her suspicions, sometimes to its benefit, sometimes to its detriment. When it worked, it made the film feel cerebral and intimate. When it didn't, it felt like the movie didn't trust us to read between the lines. Fortunately, Montgomery's performance was strong enough to hold the story together. She was intelligent, restrained, and haunted by an overwhelming sense of despair. Ironically, the most devastating moment came from the revelation that her journalist husband wasn't just killed for uncovering a drug smuggling operation. He was killed for trying to extort money from those involved. That betrayal landed hard. You could feel her mourning not just his death, but the man she thought she married. Visually, the film got oddly abstract at times. The dream imagery, especially those giant floating red lips, came out of nowhere and made it feel like late-night public TV surrealism. I admired the ambition, even if I didn't always connect with it emotionally. Also, the constant flashbacks to her husband's murder got a bit jarring after a while. Too much recap, too fast, right when the story should have trusted its own build-up. So overall, I liked how experimental its storytelling was, favouring mood over momentum, even though it made more than a few stylistic missteps along the way. That's why I've settled on 3 stars. Let me know what you thought. Did the narration pull you in or push you out? Drop a comment, hit like if you enjoyed watching along with me, and consider subscribing for more deep cut reactions and reviews. This is Holy Critic, signing out.